Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, we'll be working on Sec 2 Term 1 practice. Those who are here can take a look at the first question. Kahoot? There's no Kahoot today. Oh, yesterday one of the answer is wrong. Yesterday is on which subject? No worries. Okay, those who are here can work on the simultaneous equation for first question. There's two methods to simultaneous equation. So you can either use the first method. Hold on. Which is the elimination method. Or the substitution method. Okay, x is 5, y is -4. Good job. How about the rest? Anyone try the questions already? Okay. So we have two equations here. What we can do is we can rearrange the first equation. So the first equation we have x minus 2y equals to 13. So we can live in terms of x. So x equals to 13 plus 2y. Mental algebra. You're very smart. Okay. So this will be our equation 1. Then for equation 2, we don't have to change anything because we can use substitution method here. So in this case, the substitution method is easier. As you can see from the first equation, you can just isolate x. Okay? So you are in which level now? Okay. You have graduated long ago. Okay, so you can see you can substitute equation 1 into equation 2. Okay. Remember to always write what you are doing. So substitute 1 into 2. So you have to replace all the x with 13 plus 2y. Okay, so you have 2 times 13 plus 2y plus y equals to 6. Okay, you're a tutor. You're teaching where? Or are you a private tutor? Actually, we do have Sec 3 Math for our physical classes. Just that for online class, we only have Sec 1 and Sec 2. Okay, then we have to multiply in the 2 to the 2 terms inside the bracket. So we expand the equation first. 13 times 2 we have 26, plus 2 times 2y we have 4y, and plus y equals to 6. Then we try to solve this equation. Okay, simplify again. They are the like terms, so like terms we can simplify further. So 4y plus y we have 5y equals to, we minus 26 on both sides such that we have one side is unknown and the other side is just numbers. Okay, so 6 minus 26, we get 5y equals to negative 20. Okay, and then we have to find an unknown y, so we divide by 5 on both sides. So negative 20 divided by 5, negative divided by a positive number is still negative, so we have negative 4. Okay, so for substitution method, always substitute back to the equation that you have transformed into, so which is the equation 1 here, because it's already in terms of x. So by substituting y equals to negative 4 into equation 1, you can find x directly. Okay, then you sub y equals to negative 4 into 1. Okay, x equals to 13 plus 2 times negative 4, which also means 13 minus 8, we will get x equals to 5. Okay, so x equals to 5, y equals to negative 4. Did I get the answer? Those who are done with question 2 can question 1 can move on to question 2. For question 2, you can use the rainbow method to expand. And those who are done with question 2, do send in your answer. Oh, it's up to you if you want to find x first or find y first, whichever way that's easier. So in this case, right, since we look at the first equation, we can isolate x easier. When you isolate x, you will replace x with y in terms of y in another equation. So definitely you will find y first if you are using substitution method. So it depends on which method you are using. Anyone expanded question number 2? Huh? What is 1 plus 1? Here is secondary math, not primary math. What is 1? What is your answer for question 2? So when you expand, right? Remember to expand them one by one. You take x times 3 and x times negative x first, before you move on to negative 2 times 3 and negative 2 times negative x. Don't forget the negative sign. They will always take the sign in front. X minus 2y is an expression. After expanding, don't forget to leave your expression in the simplest form. What? This is Sec 2 math. Yep, you can learn. Or you can also take a look at what Sec 2 math about. There's no such thing as Sec 9. Okay? Anyone want to send in your answer for question 2 before I go through? That one ITE. Now overstay in secondary school. Okay? Let me go through question 2. X minus 2 times 3 minus x. So when we take x times 3, we get 3x. After which we take x times negative x, we get negative x squared. Then negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. And negative 2 times negative x, we have positive 2x. Okay, then we simplify the like terms. We can see that our 3x and 2x are in terms of x. Okay. So yeah, negative 2x 3x plus 2x, a positive 5x, and then minus 6. Okay? Hi, Oreo girl. Negative x is to the power of 2 because x times x is x squared. Oh, you can stay here. Sorry. Only x has the power of 2, the rest no powers. Oh, why not? The x squared is negative, that's why there's a negative sign in front. This is Sec 2 math. You can get your worksheets, the link is in the bio. It's the soft copy. Even the powers can also be negative. It'll be learned in Sec 3. Okay, those are done. Move on to question 3 on factorizing. Part A, the factorizing is quite straightforward. Ah, you sure? How old are you now? Ah, we are doing G3 math actually. Okay. Oh, I just saw you're 27. Okay. Yep, sure. Sure, you can show off to your friends that you can do G3 math. All done with this? Huh? You sure? How old is your boyfriend? Okay, question 3, factorize the following expression completely. So to factorize, you have to find the common factor. For part A, what is the common factor between 25 and 15? Sorry, which one? Yep, you got it right. Correct. So both 25 and 15 has a common factor of 5, so we can factorize out 5. When you factorize out 5, we take 25 divided by 5, we get 5. So you're left with 5 inside the bracket. Minus 15 divided by 5, we get 3. So you're left with 3y. Okay? So you should get 5 bracket 5 minus 3y. Sec 2 math. Those who are done, move on to part B. Part B, don't forget to factorize out the common factor first before you factorize the quadratic expression. Yep, good. You can take 2 out first because all the numbers are even numbers. So you factorize out a 2 first, you're left with x squared minus 2x minus 3 and then factorize the quadratic expression. Yep, correct. I can't speak Malay, but you can type in English though. Definitely not 26. Yep, I'm in Chinese. Okay. So, to factorize this x squared minus 2x minus 3, we look at the first term and the last term. Okay? So, how to get x squared? X squared, you can only split it into x times x. So, we have these two can only be x and x here. Okay, that's how you get x squared. And then for negative 3, factors of negative 3, it can only be either 1 times negative 3 or negative 1 times 3. So you see that the middle term here, right, is negative 2x. So definitely you want your bigger number to be the negative one. So minus 3 plus 1. Okay, and then to check your work, you expand the term that gives you the expression of in terms of x. So we have a positive 1x here and a negative 3x here. 1x minus 3x, we get negative 2x. This is correct. Okay, so this shows that we factorize correctly. So we have 2 times x plus 1, x minus 3. Okay, your K1. Please don't spam. It's not difficult if you have more practice. Okay, those who are done, move on to part C. Part C, you see that there's 4 terms, so you split into 2 terms and 2 terms to factorize first before you combine them together. It's on term 1 topics. So this one is on algebra topic. For this question, is on the factorization part. Factorization of algebraic expressions. That one will be on primary math. Anyone done with part C? Okay, for part C, you split it into 2 parts to factorize. Take note that the sign, the term itself will always take the sign in front. Yep, this is Sec 2. Okay, that's good, but we are only working on term 1, okay? Sec 2 term 1. Yup, sure. The multiplication table. You mean how to factorize this portion here, right? Okay. So here is times. So same thing, we always only look at the first term and the last term. How do you split your first term? You have x squared, right? So we split it into x times x. Okay, then we get our x squared here. And then for negative 3, how do we split our negative 3? It can be negative 1 times 3, or it can be negative 3 times 1. Okay, but we look at our middle term. Since it's more negative, so we want the bigger number to be negative. That's why we put negative and a positive 1. And that's how we get negative 3. Okay, so these two boxes, right, is the one that you have to fill up to check your work. Okay, so this will be, you will take 1 times x, you get x here, and negative 3 times x, you get negative 3x. So looking at this two, you take x minus 3x, you get negative 2x. And make sure that this tallies with the second term. If it tallies, means you have x plus 1 and x minus 3. Okay, so when you factorize. Yeah, this is G3 Sec 2 math. Okay. Anyone done with part C? For part C, this part, we can factorize out A. So it's equals to, when we factorize out A, we are left with 2x minus 3y. And then for the second part, we can factorize out negative 2b. So when we factorize out negative 2b, right, our negative 4bx, when we divide by negative 2b, we are left with 2x. And then the positive 6by, we divide by negative 2b, we have a negative term. So we get negative 3y. Okay, then you can see from here, you have 2x minus 3y, 2x minus 3y. So both terms has the same factor, 2x minus 3y. So we factorize out 2x minus 3y, and what we are left with will be a minus 2b. So don't forget to write your a minus 2b. Okay, 2x minus 3y, a minus 2b. Can? Yep, you'll need the bracket, because brackets means times. Those who are done can look at question 4. Do try question 4. Given that p plus 2q equals to negative 2 and pq equals to negative 18, find the value of p minus 2q, the whole thing squared. You can just use a pencil. Then you don't have to waste your correction tape. You can use eraser. Okay. So for this question, it will require you to use the special algebraic identities. What are the three special algebraic identities? We have a plus b squared equals to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Can you all see? Let's shift it here first. Can see? Okay, so this is the first one. The second one is a minus b, the whole thing squared. A squared minus 2ab plus b squared. The third one, a minus b, a plus b equals to a squared minus b squared. So these are the three that you need to remember. Okay? So we'll be using these special algebraic identities for this question here. So you can see that you are given p plus 2q and you are given pq. So since it's a plus and you have something like this, so we use the first special algebraic identities to help us. So p plus 2q, the whole thing squared will be equals to p squared plus 2 times p plus times 2q plus 2q squared. Hold on. This one I put it here so that I can shift this over. Can you all see? Why You haven't learned the special algebraic identities, right? Okay. They are not methods actually, they are just different expressions. Okay, after which you can expand p squared plus 2 times 2 is 4, so we have 4qp here plus 4q squared. And then our p plus 2q, the whole thing squared, we can replace our p plus 2q with negative 2, so it's equals to negative 2 squared. I see. So for Sec 2 level, it will definitely be harder for you. This one is only learned in Sec 2. Okay, so negative 2 squared, we have 4. 4 equals to p squared plus 4pq plus 4q squared. And then we know our pq is negative 18. So we can replace this with negative 18. So 4 times negative 18, we get negative 72. We can switch them around. So p squared plus 4q squared equals to 4 plus 72. Okay, we shift the 4 times negative 18 to the other side. graph is in term 1 for Sec 2 math. Okay, so p squared plus 4q squared equals to 76. And then they're asking for this. What they want is p minus 2q the whole thing squared. So we use this second special algebraic identities to help us to expand. We'll have p squared plus 2 times p times you can wait, this one should be minus, then I don't have to write this negative sign here. So p squared minus 2 times p times 2q plus 2q the whole thing squared. Because we're applying the identities here, equals to p squared minus 4pq plus 4q squared. Okay, so can you see why we need to find the value of p squared plus 4q squared? So that we can substitute inside here to find the values. So p squared plus 4q squared, we have this value here equals to 76, and then minus 4, pq is negative 18, so I replace with negative 18. Okay, so p squared plus 4q squared I replace with 76 minus 4 times negative 18 is negative 72. So negative times negative is positive. So we have 76 plus 72, which gave us 148. Yep, this is E-math, Sec 2 E-math. Sec 1 and 2 only have E-math, only Sec 3 and 4 have A-math. You got 200? How do you get 200? Okay, but to be fair, this question is too difficult for you. Certain steps can be shortened, just that I do them one by one to show you all. Okay, those who are done, you can try question 5. Can you all see question 5? Question 5 is on inequality. Inequality is like you have the more than sign, less than sign, more than or equals to, less than or equals to. Okay. Anyone for question 5a? Okay, 1 over 18 is correct. So x is more than or less than? Greater than x. Yep, x is less than 1 over 18, correct. Good job. So 1 over 3 is greater than 6x. So I want x alone. Firstly, I can change their position. I flip them around first. So 6x less than 1/3. And then I only want x, so I divide by 6 on both sides. I'm dividing by a positive number, so I'm not changing the sign. So I'll get 1 over 18. So x lesser than 1 over 18. Part B. Yeah, it's not difficult. Inequality is quite easy. Okay, you can try part B and send in your answer to revise for your tomorrow WA1. Sec 2. This is Sec 2 math. Okay. Yep, we are working on Sec 2 math. We do have Sec 1 math. That'll be next Thursday for the TikTok live, 8 to 9 p.m. Learn for next year. You can join us for our TikTok live next Thursday for Sec 1 math. You can also join our online class. There's one free trial. For Sec 1 math, the lesson will be on Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Can you try part B? Actually, part B also quite straightforward. 5x greater than or equals to negative 18. So for you to find x, you just need to divide by 5 on both sides. So negative 18 divided by 5 is just negative 18 over 5. Okay. Yep. Yeah, inequality is not difficult. You only have to take note when you are dividing or multiplying by negative numbers, because you will need to flip the sign. If it's more than, then you have to change it to less than, and vice versa. Those who are done can look at question 6. There are 2 queues at the bus stop during peak hours. The number of people in the first and second queues are P and Q respectively. The value of P is greater than Q. If the difference in the numbers of people in these queues is 18, form an equation connecting P and Q. So they tell you that the difference is 18 and you know that P is greater than Q. So how do you form this equation? P is greater, right? So you take P minus Q. And they tell you that the difference is 18. So your P minus Q must be equals to 18. Part B, if the number of people in the first queue is 3 times the number of people in the second queue, form another equation connecting P and Q. So 3 times means what? P is greater, right? So P is equals to, so if you want to visualize in terms of the model, P is greater and P is 3 times of Q. Hold on. Means I need 3 of the Q to be equals to my 1P. So with this will help you to visualize better. means my 1p must be equals to my 3q. So this will be my second equation. Okay, so with these two equations, they ask you to solve the simultaneous equation using substitution method. So if they specify the method that you have to use, then you have to follow. If you use elimination method, then it won't be accepted here. Okay, hence find the total number of people in the two queues. So to find the total number of people, you have to take p plus q later on. Okay, so firstly you have to find the value of p and q first before you find the total number. So we can let our p minus q equals to 18 to be the first equation. P equals to 3q to be the second equation. So for the second equation, it's already p in terms of q. What we can do is we can substitute equation number 2 into our equation number 1. Okay, whatever you are doing, always write it down. So sub equation 2 into equation 1. So our p, we replace it with 3q. So 3q minus q equals to 18. 3q minus q, we get 2q. 2q equals to 18. Q equals to, we divide by 2. So q equals to 9. After finding q equals to 9, we substitute into equation 2. So p equals to 3 times q, which is 9. P equals to 27. With this, you can find the total. Okay, what is the total? Tomorrow the live will be on, if I'm not wrong, it's primary 5 math. Secondary math live will be on Thursdays. Primary math will be on Friday. Okay, so to find the total, we take p plus q. (27 plus 9). Okay, so part A we have p minus q equals to 18. Part B is p equals to 3q. Part C is the total is 36. Hi. Y'all can get the worksheets in our bio. Those who are done can look at question 7. Okay. Find the value of p and q if the simultaneous equation 12x plus qy equals 32 and px minus y equals to 8 have an infinite number of solutions. Explain the geometrical significance of the lines 12x plus qy equals 32 and px minus y equals to 8. Are your friends? Okay, so two distinct straight lines which are not parallel will only intersect at exactly one point. Okay, two lines will have infinite number of solutions if the two lines have the same gradient and y-intercept. This means that they are two exact same lines that overlap each other. Okay, meaning we have our 12x plus qy equals to 32, and we have px minus y equals to 8. We can leave them in terms of y equals to mx. Okay, so for the first equation we have qy equals to negative 12x plus 32. Therefore y equals to negative 12 over qx plus 32 over q. We leave them in terms of y equals to mx plus c, equation of straight line. For the px minus y equals to 8, y equals to px minus 8. Okay, so from here the coefficient of x must be equal and the constant term must be equal. Okay, because they must have the same gradient, which is m, and they must have the same y-intercept, which is the constant term. So negative 12 over q equals to p, negative 12 equals to pq. And for the constant term, 32 over q equals to negative 8, means my q equals to negative 4. Then I can sub this q equals to negative 4 into the negative 12 equals to pq. So p times negative 4 gives me negative 12. I divide by negative 4 on both sides, p equals to 3. Okay, so what is the geometrical significance here? The two lines have the same gradient of 3 because p is equals to 3, and same y-intercept at 0, 8. I only teach online class for now, for this curriculum year. So for Sec 2 math will be on Friday night. Sec 1 math is on Saturday. But we do have classes in Clementi as well at the Clementi is, I think it's a new outlet. We have physical classes also, you can inquire. Okay? As such, the two lines will have infinite number of solutions as they are identical. Okay, is at 321 Clementi for our physical classes in Clementi, level 3. All done with question 7. Okay, question 8. Adeline drove for 4 hours at an average speed of X km per hour, and then 6 hours at an average speed of Y km per hour. She drove a total distance of 500 km. Write down an equation in terms of X and Y and show that it simplifies to 2x plus 3y equals to 250. So, to find the distance, right? Distance equals to speed times time. So, for the first part, 4 hours times x will give you distance for the first part, first 4 hours, plus 6 hours times y for the next 6 hours that she traveled. Okay, and the total must give us 500 km. So we have, take note here that all the units must be equal, and they are equal, so we don't have to do any conversion. So 4x plus 6y equals to 500. Simplify, so we divide by 2 throughout. We have 2x plus 3y equals to 250. They ask you to show, so don't forget to write shown. Okay, so that's for part A. Part B, Ben drove for 9 hours at an average speed of X km per hour, and then 2 hours at an average speed of Y km per hour. The total distance that he traveled is 665 km. So same thing, part B, 9 hours times X plus 2 hours times Y will give us the total distance of 665. So solve the equation obtained in A and B to find the value of X and Y. So we are solving simultaneous equation here. So first equation, we have 2x plus 3y equals to 250. This will be our equation 1. Equation 2, 9x plus 2y equals to 665. So we rearrange equation 1, leave x in terms of y. Okay, so we have 2x equals to 250 minus 3y. We bring our 3y to the other side first, then we divide by 2. Okay, then since we changed the equation already, this will be equation number 3. Okay, so now we have x in terms of y. We can replace our x in terms of y to equation 2, meaning we are doing substitution method here. So sub equation number 3 into equation number 2. Replace our x with 250 minus 3y over 2 plus 2y equals to 665. So I multiply by 2 throughout to remove my denominator first. So when I multiply by 2, my 2y becomes 4y. My 665 times 1,330. Okay, and then I simplify from here. Expand out first. 2,250 minus 27y plus 4y equals to 1,330. So for this part here, negative 27 plus 4y, I get negative 23y. I bring it to my right hand side. So that it be equals to 23y, and then I minus 1330 on both sides, so 2250 minus 1330, I get 920. Then I divide by 23 on both sides, meaning my y equals to 40. So with y equals to 40, I can substitute in my equation 3 to find my x. So x equals to, before that, remember to write sub y equals to 40 in equation 3. Okay, so x equals to 250 minus 3 times 40 divided by 2, and then you key in your calculator, you'll get x equals to 65. So x equals to 65, y equals to 40. Part A and B is on the equations. So A actually don't need because it's shown. So part B will be 9x plus 2y equals to 665. In equation 3. You got any question? Those are done. This is the last question for our live. If there's no question, I'll end the live here. Anyone still need the workings? If not, I need the working. I'll be ending the live soon. Okay, so for our next live will be tomorrow, 7 p.m. on P5 Math. Sorry, how do I get 4y? I multiply by 2 throughout because I want to remove the denominator here. So I times 2 throughout my equation. That's how I get my 4y here. Ah, okay. Can see? Okay. So tomorrow will be on P5 Math for our TikTok live. And then for our webinar promo, you all can register for the free trial. For Sec 2 Math will be on Friday night. And then for Sec 1 Math will be on Saturday morning. Yep, the 9 also times 2, just that because the denominator is 2. So 9 over 2 times 2, is it still 9? Can you see that? I times 2, right? I cancel off. The purpose of multiplying by 2 is because there's a denominator there. We want to remove the denominator. Can? Any other questions? This is Sec 2 Math. Okay, is everyone done? Any other question? Definitely JC math is the more difficult. It's of a higher level. Next Friday we will have next Thursday we have TikTok live for Sec 1 math. Okay, you can watch our live next Thursday, 8 to 9 p.m. Okay, if there's no more question, I'll end the live here. Do remember to watch our live tomorrow. Bye bye.